What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90, and the international break is finally over. I mean, actually, it's still happening today by the time you're watching this, but this video is about the Bundesliga, and it is week 3 predictions. As you can see, Bayern Munich, perfect, 6 points. Frankfurt, 6 points. And Cologne, 6 points as well, with a massive victory last week. I mean, it was a mental winning margin. They won 4-1 against Freiburg, who are not an easy team to beat. So, Bundesliga, we are here, real quick, flashed up on the screen all the people that are supporting me over on the Patreon, and a massive special shout out to Uncle TJ, who won the $100 Patreon giveaway. So if you want to get involved with the Patreon, exclusive members tips, accumulators, group chats, giveaways, stuff like that, click the top link in the description, and you, of course, if I didn't already mention it, get a shout out in every single video. But the first game, it's Bayer Leverkusen up against Eintracht Frankfurt. Now, Leverkusen had a terrible start under Erik ten Hag, who has already been sacked. They drew to Werder Bremen after being 3-1 up, and they lost to TSG Hoffenheim. Decent teams, but Eintracht Frankfurt are better than both of them. And I was so close to going for a 2-1 away win to Frankfurt, but I've got a lot of 2-1 away wins coming up. So I thought I'd say Bayern Leverkusen get something out of this game and say 2-2. But ultimately, I have no idea which way this is going to go. It could be Leverkusen win. It could be, like the recent history between the two of them, a bog standard Leverkusen 3-1 win. You know, they might get the comfortable win that you'd expect, but you never know. So the tip is going to be both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at 1.66. Eintracht Frankfurt beating Hoffenheim 3-1 and Bremen 4-1. That's really interesting, actually. They've both played Hoffenheim and Werder Bremen alternating weeks. Frankfurt dispatched of both of them by a -1 handicap, and Leverkusen picked up 1 point. So there's the yardstick, but I think Leverkusen might raise their level here and meet Frankfurt with a 2-2 draw. After this, it is Union Berlin up against TSG Hoffenheim. I think this is going to be a close one. I think at home I'd give Hoffenheim the win. Union Berlin, slight favourites, home advantage. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw, and the tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.66. Next up, we do have winless Freiburg, bottom of the league after losing to Cologne and Augsburg. Big defeats, but they scored in every game, so I do think they're going to score here. And they're against Stuttgart, who beat Gladbach 1-0, and they lost to Union Berlin, which was a little bit of a shock, I've got to be honest. But I do think Stuttgart are going to win. I'm going to go for a 2-1 away win. But the tip in the goals market, once more, is going to be both teams to score. This time at a measly 1.5. You could do Stuttgart double chance and both teams to score. Probably bumps the odds up to about 2. So I definitely look at that, but I don't think Stuttgart lose to a Freiburg side who haven't even got close to getting a point really this season so far. After this, similarly, we have Heidenheim on 0 points after losing to Leipzig and Wolfsburg. However, they are two very good teams. It does have to be said. And they're against Dortmund, who did get the win over Union Berlin 3-0, and after drawing 3-3 to St. Pauli, throwing away that lead. But what a great game that was. I think Dortmund are going to win this one. I'm going to give Heidenheim a goal, and I'm actually going to press the button. This is my highest odds tip. It's not my highest odds tip of the Bundesliga, but it's my second highest. It's Borussia Dortmund and both teams to score at 2.75. I do think they get the win, but not without a scare, not without a goal. I mean, Heidenheim have lost with both teams scoring 1 out of the 2. Obviously, I thought for a second that was Leipzig, but it's Freiburg who got a goal in both their games. So Borussia Dortmund to win 2-1. Dortmund and both teams to score is the tip. Following this, we have Mainz up against Leipzig. It's going to be a Leipzig win. It's going to be another 2-1. Just in case Leipzig throw it. I know Leipzig might not win this one, and they aren't even favourites, to be fair, which is a bit of a shock to me. But I'm going to go for 2-1, and the tip is RB Leipzig double chance and both teams to score at 2.2. They beat Heidenheim there. They lost to Bayern 6-0, but I do think both teams will score here. Mainz drawing with Wolfsburg, losing to Cologne. Very low scoring games, but Leipzig tend to have higher scoring games, so I'm going to go Leipzig double chance and both teams to score. After this, Wolfsburg up against Cologne, and I know they're off to a great start, but I'm going to go for a Wolfsburg win, 3-1. And the tip is going to be Wolfsburg to win. I've got 1.95 odds here. The odds here are evens. They've had a good start here. Freiburg and Mainz, good wins, but they're not the upper echelon of the Bundesliga, are they? The teams they're beating. So this will be a real test for them. Wolfsburg at home, the Volkswagen Arena, and I think Wolfsburg will take all 3 points. After this, it's Bayern Munich up against Hamburg. I'll give Hamburg a goal just for the fun of it. They couldn't score in either of their opening 2 games, but I'll give them a goal. I'm going to go Bayern Munich to win 4-1. And the tip is quite simply Bayern Munich -2 handicap at 1.61. It could be more. I mean, they won 6-0 against Leipzig. Augsburg 3-2. Bit of a comeback there from Augsburg, to be honest. But I don't have the guts or the faith in Hamburg, to be honest, to predict Bayern Munich and both teams to score. But Bayern Munich -2 allows for a 3-0 win as well. So I think it's worth keeping a high-scoring win to nil on side with the handicap. Bayern Munich -2. After this, it is St. Pauli up against Augsburg. Augsburg lost to Bayern Munich, as I said, and beat Freiburg. St. Pauli beat Hamburg and drew with Borussia Dortmund. A brilliant comeback there. I do think Augsburg generally are a better team, but I think at home here, St. Pauli are going to be hard to beat, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And this is my highest odds tip of the week. It is the classic full 90, both teams to score, and under 3.5 goals at 3.1. So that's a 1-1 draw or 2-1 either way, and I could definitely see it being that 2-1 either way, but I can't separate them, so I'm going to go for a 1-1. Following that, the final fixture, Borussia Monchengladbach up against Werder Bremen. I think Borussia Monchengladbach win this one. I'm going to say 2-1, but again, we're going to the result market. The tip is over 2.5 goals at 1.5. So there's a summary of my picks, and I have got every single team scoring. If I had to think of a team that wouldn't score, immediately my eyes go straight to Hamburg. I think it is quite possible that they don't score. But other than that, honestly, I could see all of them scoring. Maybe Augsburg struggle to score away from home, but I do think all teams are going to score in the Bundesliga. So you could, if you're feeling brave, chuck an all teams to score 9-fold on there. I'll get you the odds. That's essentially 85-1 for all teams to score. And as you can see by the odds, the two that I flagged up just then, Bayern Munich, Hamburg, I say Hamburg the least likely to score. The odds are the highest. And then the next one I flagged up was the St. Pauli Augsburg game, where the odds again are 1.9. The other odds are all pretty consistent here with both teams scoring. But maybe that's worth a shout. Maybe not. But that is going to do it for the Bundesliga predictions. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Join us on the road to 50,000. Tomorrow we'll see Serie A and La Liga. The day after that, the Premier League. And then next week on Monday, we're kicking off the Champions League, which I cannot wait for. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.